The 2026 FIFA World Cup arrived with the weight of an entire nation resting directly on Portugal's shoulders. The global media scrutiny was absolute. Their opening match was supposed to be a statement. Instead, Portugal collided with tournament underdogs DR Congo and stumbled out of the gate with a highly frustrating 1-1 draw. To make matters worse, Portugal's legendary captain, Cristiano Ronaldo, struggled to leave his mark. The most prolific goal scorer in international history was kept entirely off the scoresheet. When a generational icon stalls out against a lower-ranked opponent on the world's biggest stage, the global media machine immediately goes to work. They demand either a scapegoat to blame or a savior to praise. The only bright spot for Portugal that night came from a 21-year-old rising star. In the 6th minute, João Neves met a Pedro Neto cross and headed in the team's lone goal.
To understand the historical weight of that header, look at this bar chart ranking the youngest Portuguese players to ever score in a World Cup. Right here at number 3 is Neves, clocking in at 21 years and 263 days old. Notice whose name sits in the number 1 spot. Neves's new milestone sits directly behind Cristiano Ronaldo's 2006 record, putting the newcomers side by side with the veteran. Riding the massive adrenaline high of a record-breaking World Cup goal, the young midfielder stepped up to the press microphones. In that exhausted, highly vulnerable state, Neves gave a completely standard locker room answer, and in doing so, he accidentally ignited a massive international controversy. When asked about his captain's performance, Neves used exactly 5 words that caught the world's attention. He is just another player. Headlines immediately ran with those 5 words. What they left out was the very next sentence. Neves followed up by clarifying that Ronaldo is no different from the others and that he is here to help. To understand what Neves actually meant, we have to look at the psychology of professional sports. Inside a locker room, the hierarchy has to disappear for a system to work. Treating a legendary veteran as a humble, equal contributor who fights alongside the squad is considered the highest praise a teammate can offer. But a paradox exists here. The locker room demands absolute equality to win matches, while modern superstar culture demands unyielding reverence from the public. The internet doesn't care about the nuances of team psychology. Within minutes, the viral quote was instantly stripped of its supportive context. Fiercely protective Portuguese fans and global Ronaldo loyalists launched a massive wave of social media backlash directed squarely at the 21-year-old. The friction came down to one simple idea. To millions of die-hard supporters, looking at the greatest goal scorer in history and calling him just another player is pure blasphemy. The timing of the match statistics amplified the anger. Because Neves had found the back of the net while the veteran captain struggled, the quote was interpreted as youthful arrogance. Neves inadvertently crossed an unwritten rule of the modern sporting era. You can play alongside the icon, but you never demystify them to the public. The situation escalated quickly enough that Portugal's head coach, Roberto Martinez, was forced to step in and extinguish the PR fire. Facing reporters at a scheduled press conference, Martinez gently absorbed the blow, stating plainly that Neves's statement was easily misunderstood. Then Martinez executed a textbook public relations pivot. He smoothly transitioned from shielding his young midfielder to aggressively defending his captain's legacy. He asserted that Ronaldo's status in the team cannot be diminished. He reminded the room that Ronaldo has achieved everything, broken countless records, and remains essential to the country's success. Martinez assumed the role of a cultural translator, publicly revalidating the legend's status to protect the fragile psychological balance between the locker room and the global fan base. This entire incident maps out the precise boundaries of the superstar paradox in modern sports. On the grass, a functioning tactical system requires 11 equal individuals pulling in the exact same direction. But off the grass, the global media, personal branding, and millions of fans demand that the highest achievers remain isolated on an untouchable pedestal. A team might need a captain who acts like an equal, but in the relentless eyes of the world, an icon like Cristiano Ronaldo can never truly be just another player.